Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she didn't invite me to hers?
So, some background. My sister and I have always had a complicated relationship. We're not super close, but we've always managed to stay cordial, mainly because of family gatherings and events. A few years ago, she got married, and I wasn't invited.
She claimed it was a small ceremony with only her husband's family and a few close friends. I was hurt, but I didn't make a big deal out of it and let it go. Fast forward to now, I'm getting married. My fiancé and I are planning a slightly larger wedding with close family and friends. When it came time to send out invitations, I decided not to invite my sister. I felt like if she didn't want me at her wedding, I shouldn't feel obligated to invite her to mine. My parents are furious and say I'm being petty and that I should be the bigger person. They insist that I invite her because family is family. But to me, it's more about reciprocation and not wanting someone at my wedding who didn't think I was important enough to be at theirs. My fiancé supports my decision but thinks it might cause unnecessary drama. Now, my sister found out she wasn't invited and called me, upset. She said she didn't invite me to her wedding because she was under a lot of stress at the time and regrets it now. She accused me of holding a grudge and ruining our relationship even further. I feel like I'm justified in my decision, but now I'm second-guessing myself. Am I the asshole for not inviting her? Not the asshole. Tell her you are under stress, so she can't come to your wedding. Then say, you understand, obviously. Did your parents get furious when you weren't invited? If you don't like her and she hurt your feelings, don't invite her. Tell parents the die is cast, and she cast it. If you want a future relationship, then invite her. But make sure you do what you want. Did you parents have the same energy towards your sister when you weren't invited? Ask them if family was family, back then too. F that noise. Don't give in. I mean, is it petty? Yes. Would I also do this? Yes. Not the asshole. Sorry, but where was your parents' outrage when your sister slighted you? I'd be just as pissed at them for both not standing up for you then, and getting all up in your grill now. Think very carefully how much you want them involved in your wedding, since there's no way they're letting this go. They'll bug you and get other family members to bug you, even the day of. Not the asshole. Don't let any of them ruin your wedding. Oh, and get your asshole sister to explain exactly how being stressed out made her exclude you from her wedding. I would love to hear the details of that. Tell your sister that you really wish you could invite her, but it would just be too much stress for you. Say as politely as you can that you are worried she will cause a scene or problems. Am I the asshole? Son damaged my car, doesn't want to fix it. Wife agrees with son. First, a little backstory. Throw away because of reasons. I, 46M, have a son, 19M, who attends university in a city about an hour away. I pay his rent, all his tuition, his meals, everything. This summer he almost exclusively used my car. I think I drove it once a month. A month ago, he scratched the bumper of the car pulling into the garage. Weeks later he decided he'd do something to fix it. I didn't hound him on it, I left it with him. He apparently Googled that rubbing toothpaste would remove the scratches, so he did that. It removed some, but also took the clear coat off. Not a big deal, it's a bumper. That's not the part that I'm here for. The car was dirty, so he decided to wash it in the driveway, instead of going to the coin car wash. Some of the caked-on clay on the driver's side from months of use wouldn't come off, so he decided instead of using soap, he'd use the toothpaste. He proceeded to scrub the front quarter panel, driver's side doors, front and back, and the rear quarter panel, with an abrasive toothpaste. After it dried he noticed the swirls, and the fact that he'd sanded the clear coat off. Now, it's an older car, 2013, but I've maintained it, and it's mine. I've kept it in perfect condition and I'm the first and only owner. So, I was left with an entire driver's side that had swirl marks and looked sanded down. I didn't get angry when I saw it, I was stunned, and I said I just want it fixed, and that I understood it was a mistake. I explained the clear coat had been sanded, and that likely the only way to fix it is to repaint it. He called friends, even called my brother-in-law, and they all said the same thing. It would need repainting. He called for estimates, and someone said they could buff it out. They tried, he paid, they didn't fix it. Quotes range from 1200 to 2K. I brought it up at dinner, and his logic was 1.
It's not like I drive it every day.
2. I could only sell it for maybe 7K, so it's not worth the cost of repainting. 3. He's trying to save money and work within a budget he has for himself. Then my wife stepped in. In her words, 1. If it were her car, she wouldn't care. I maintain her car too. 2.
Do I expect our son to pay $2,500 to repaint my car?
3.
If I caused that damage, would I pay $2,500 myself to get it fixed given the value of the car? That last one was said in such an insanely accusatory manner, like I'm unreasonable.
Now, look, here's the deal, I'm in therapy.
I've got my own problems, so please realize that everything I'm conveying to them is me being very careful and mindful about how I speak to everyone. So please believe me when I say I'm making every effort here to not be negative, and be as factual as I can.
I've spoken to my therapist, because this bugged me. She advised me to rescind any driving privileges until it's fixed. I spoke to my sister, the brother-in-law of mine that my son consulted, and she believes that he better pony up, and it's an expensive mistake, but it's on him. Info. 1. Does he have the money to pay you $1,200 to $2,000? 2.
If not on hand, how difficult would it be to pay you over time?
3.
Does he do stupid shit like this often?
Not the asshole. If you could have sold it for $7,000 before, it's probably closer to half that now.
Expensive lessons are always a bummer, but they tend to stick.
This is a lesson in carelessness for your son.
That said, when he first tried the toothpaste on the bumper, did he understand that he damaged the clear coat? That could have been a teachable moment. I'm not suggesting this is in any way your fault, but if you didn't make a point of explaining where he went wrong with the bumper repair, let this be a learning experience for you too. People are more likely to repeat mistakes when they don't understand the nature of those mistakes.
Not the asshole. He fucked up in an expensive way.
It being expensive doesn't make it any less his fuck up. He needs to pay to have it fixed or come to some deal with you to work off the cost or something similar if he can't afford it. If this were anyone's car but yours, the obvious solution would be that he pays to fix it and return the car to the original state that he borrowed it in.
You can be more lenient if you want, but it's still his responsibility to fix this. That's just part of being an adult.
Stop paying his rent and use the money to fix the car.
Lesson learned.
Not the asshole. Our 17-year-old son had a fender bender. Took a ramp too fast on wet pavement and went over a traffic island, no one else involved. No one around, so no cops, and he was fine, and caused $1,700 in damage to our, at the time, 11-year-old car. He paid us $50 per week until he paid us back for the cost of the repair.
He's now 22, college grad, working full-time, bought his first car 2 years ago, and guess what? He is a cautious driver because he knows what it will cost if he wrecks his car. It's about accountability and responsibility.
If $$ is really tight for him, I'd consider only making him pay for half, as he has made an effort to fix his mistake, but there has to be true apology, not a backhanded one. Not the asshole. Your wife is mistakenly sheltering her baby boy from the big mean man.
Your son will never learn to deal with mistakes if mommy keeps bailing him out. He should cover the cost and learn the lesson, albeit the hard way. Actions have consequences. Your wife is the asshole backing up your son.